It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 4th of October. I'm Michael Groff. Feels a little bit more like fall out there today. Temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. You'll really notice it overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, with low temperatures dropping into the 50s in some spots around the valley, 60s elsewhere, thanks to that drier air coming in. But don't get too used to it just yet. Somewhat warmer temperatures will return to the valley by the middle part of this upcoming week. And you might recall how I said we were probably done with those 100-degree days. Well, let's just sort of pretend I didn't say that, because there is still a possibility we could see a triple-digit day or two before all is said and done. Now, we still have a big question mark in our forecast way out there toward the end of the period, and that is the potential of a high-impact rain event here over the southwestern United States. How is that still looking? We'll talk about that and so much more as we dive on in and discuss. First, the almanac from yesterday. 102 degrees the afternoon high, 77 was the morning low, 94 and 71 are the averages for this time of year. That record high of 109 degrees set all the way back last year. Looking outside now at 11:45 a.m., sunny sky across the valley, 82 degrees at Sky Harbor. Look at the dew point, though. It's clearly drying out, down to 39, relative humidity 22%. For the moment, the air is calm, and the barometer is falling. Satellite picture out here across the west, the trough that's bringing in that cooler weather. It's passing by to the north of Arizona. We're on the southern periphery of that, which means no precipitation around here, but we have had some wind over northern Arizona yesterday, a little bit still lingering in the northern, northeastern parts of the state today, where some gusts could be around 35, 40 miles per hour, but otherwise conditions are dry. And in accordance with that, the watch warning map, we do have a wind advisory up there, including places like Winslow, Show Low, Greer. And that's through 3 p.m. this afternoon. Elsewhere, some freeze warnings over parts of Nevada, portions of Nye County, Esmeralda County, a sign of things to come. Red flag warnings over parts of the Plains states. Otherwise, really, things are pretty quiet around the nation. The convective outlook for today, we have the standard slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5, for a very small portion of Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska. Otherwise, that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk extends up into the northern Plains states. The tropics in the Atlantic Basin, we've got, well, it looks noisy, but there's really not much here. There's a wave coming off the African coast, which we will keep close watch over. But those two other features, one off the southeast coast of Florida and one over the Gulf, those have a 0% probability of developing, so nothing to really get worked up about there. But this wave off the African coast, the National Hurricane Center giving that a coin flip's chance of developing over the next 7 days into a tropical depression or storm, so we'll have to watch that. Right now, signs are that it might gain latitude, which is what just about every other system has done so far this season and avoided the east coast of the United States. Will this one follow suit? Only time will tell. I mean, we don't even know if this is going to develop in anything right now, but it is going to enter at least a reasonable area for development in the next couple of days. So we'll keep an eye on things out there. Now, in the East Pacific, got a wave off the Mexican coast with a 90% probability to develop into a tropical depression or storm. And then we've got Octave. Now, Octave is just out here doing the loop-de-loo, the hokey-pokey. It's going to run the old reverse play and move back to the east and fizzle out with time. But we're really concerned with this other feature. This is Invest 99E. And where is that going to go? Because that, in part, will have implications on our weather. Now, looking at the tropical model set on this, most of them take this kind of out to sea, sort of fizzle it out, maybe off the coast of Baja, well off the coast of Baja. A couple of models try to bring it a little closer to us, bringing it up toward the Baja Spur. The GFS ensemble, there's some outlying members that bring it up into the southwest as a tropical cyclone. Most kind of bring it up to the northwest and sort of fizzle it out or move it out to sea. It's not so much where this goes. It's going to be what happens to its moisture that's really going to matter, or its remnant circulation that we're more interested in. The European ensemble, by the way, kind of shows the same thing. There's got a few members that bring it up toward the southwest U.S., but for the most part, again, kind of fizzling it out as it's out there off of the Baja. And again, there's a lot of implications with this. And there's also a potential of another tropical cyclone developing behind this that could also play a factor in our weather. So again, we're going to talk about that in modeling here in just a second. The precipitation outlook valid through next Saturday morning from the WPC. You'll notice rain amounts in Phoenix, really not much, and all of the rain chances now shifting either to the west or north of us over southeast California, western and northwest Arizona, up into southern Nevada. But that is only a part of the story. This only goes out through next Saturday morning. It's what happens just at and beyond this period that we're kind of interested in. I know it's a little weird to talk about something that's 8, 9, 10 plus days out, but there is at least reasonable model agreement and agreement among the folks over at Climate Prediction Center as to what may happen here. We're going to talk about all this right now as we run you through the models. Here we go. Let's get to it. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. All right, there's our trough. It's moving through the Intermountain West. We are in the wake of that feature. Negative height anomalies here. Breezy to windy conditions over eastern, northeast Arizona. For the rest of us, some breezes at times. Otherwise, down at the surface, sunny sky for us. High temperatures this afternoon will top out in the mid and upper 80s. And that's a little bit below seasonal averages. It's going to feel great out there, especially with that drier air. You got a breeze going on. You're in the shade. It's going to feel fantastic. Even in the sun, not bad. For tonight, once that sun goes down, you're really going to notice this, though. With the drier air, the breezes calm down. Overnight lows will drop into the mid and upper 50s in the coolest desert spots, low to mid 60s for the rest of us here across the urban core. But lows statewide, you can see what's going on. Below freezing up at Flagstaff, 31 tonight. Winslow at 40, 42 in Show Low tonight. In the 40s for Payson. And even down into parts of southeast Arizona. Tucson should check in at about 60 degrees tonight. Most desert spots, 50s and 60s. Going to feel fantastic. Now, for tomorrow, again, sunny sky, high temperatures, still anywhere from about 85 to 90 here in the valley. So we're still looking at slightly below average temperatures, and the dry conditions will continue, and that'll set the stage again Sunday night and Monday morning. It'll be beautiful. But as we go into Monday, high pressure is going to start to build in from the south-southeast. Those upper heights will slowly be climbing, so highs back toward the low 90s or so, mid-90s perhaps, maybe even upper 90s in the warmest desert spots on Tuesday. Wednesday, all right, high temperatures could be anywhere from about 95 to 100 in the lower deserts. I think here in Phoenix, we're going to flirt with the triple digits. I'd say highs probably 98, 99, but would I be completely shocked if we hit 100? No. And that's just what I get for declaring the 100-degree days over with, right? But I'm telling you right now, there's very little guarantees in the weather world, right? So they might be back. And same thing on Thursday. And now you're asking yourself, now, wait a minute, Mike. I thought you said there's chances of precipitation out here later this week. Are those gone? Well, I told you, I did say this. We are going to see a lot of different flips and flops and changes in these model runs each day that we show you this. And the thinking right now is tropical moisture is going to slowly start to increase later this week across Arizona. We do see signs of that even on Thursday, some increase in clouds. So mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. There could be an isolated shower or storm developing Thursday afternoon, maybe Friday as well. But what we're going to show you here is what's happening with our tropical cyclone, and this is likely to become Priscilla. Well, Priscilla will be down there off of the Baja, pretty far to the south, moving a little slower than initially anticipated. The other problem is we have a ridge across Mexico. And that's going to act as sort of a blocking ridge, really not allowing this system to move northeastward toward us, but rather the system will move more to the northwest. Maybe even more just west-northwest and kind of away from us. And you're saying, well, I guess that means no tropical moisture at all. Well, not quite, because this ridge is to the south-southeast of us, so some southwesterly flow will develop, and so we will see some moisture kind of sneaking up toward the southwest United States. So By Friday, I would say at least isolated showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Now, in our forecast, when we wrote this earlier today, we were kind of still thinking about maybe a slight chance of storms Thursday afternoon. But now I'm sort of leaning away from that and maybe introducing some low-end rain chances as early as Friday. But it may not be till next weekend before we start to see a better increase in moisture. Now, unfortunately, moisture is only half the component to this forecast. We also need the dynamic support, and that trough that we've been counting on to help to really trigger a lot of this shower and thunderstorm activity, well, it's pretty far to the west of us. So unfortunately, we really only have moisture on the increase. We don't have a trigger mechanism. Yeah, we have the thermodynamics, the sun, but this isn't monsoon season. This isn't the months of June, July, and August where the sun is much stronger. It's now at a lower angle. We don't have nearly as much heat, so only isolated showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible in such a setup. But let's keep going anyway. This is Saturday, the 11th. And that trough is over the Pacific Northwest. Maybe a short wave rotates around the base of that. But now you see what's left of whatever that is. Priscilla would be kind of washing out, and that moisture might start to be directed more toward the northeast. So we could see at least some widely scattered to perhaps scattered showers and thunderstorms around anywhere from Arizona northward into the Intermountain West. This doesn't look all that promising, but again, we'd have at least a low-end probability for some rain around here. As we talked about yesterday, the GFS which was once the most aggressive model, has sort of become the least bullish on precipitation chances around here, only showing some light QPF, some light quantitative precipitation forecasting here. This is Sunday the 12th, and now it develops another tropical cyclone kind of on the heels of Priscilla, moving up towards southern Baja. The trough is over the Pacific Northwest. Some dynamics get closer to Arizona for a continuation of at least scattered showers and storms, especially for central and northern Arizona, but we could see a few showers and storms around here. Now, temperatures would start to head back down. Obviously, once the moisture increases, we'll go from highs 95 to 100 Thursday, down a few degrees Friday and Saturday, back maybe toward the low 90s or so. But it really depends on how much moisture comes in, cloud cover, and all of that. This is out 10 days, Monday, the 13th. And again, troughing is coming in toward the Pacific Northwest, but there's a lot of questions as to the depth and orientation of that trough. If it winds up being a little further south, the dynamics would be closer to us, better chances of showers and storms. We have another tropical cyclone the GFS is depicting down there. If that happens, which it is possible because the East Pacific is very active right now, where does that system go? Where does that moisture go? With so much moisture down to the south, it would not take much for a trough to tap into at least some of that moisture. And that's certainly what all of the models seem to indicate, is that some moisture comes northward late this coming week and more likely the following weekend and into the beginning of the week of Monday the 13th. So, we have a lot of question marks out here, as you would expect, but even more than usual this far out. So anyway, regardless, the synoptic look still calls for at least some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms around. Very kind of an unusual setup here for early to mid-October. This is the European AI model. Now, this is next Sunday the 12th. And again, the Euro AI, this is a deterministic model, okay? And this model yesterday was showing widespread heavy rain. Now it's showing somewhat less widespread, although still some rain would be possible in this setup. And so we could still pick up some precipitation off of this, but it's certainly backed off in terms of how much precipitation it shows in here, at least within a reasonable range. Now, it starts to go pretty nuts as we get out here toward about Tuesday and Wednesday, the 14th and 15th of October, but that's so far out there into fantasy land, I don't know if we can really take that seriously. Regardless, let's look at some trends here. This is the rainfall for Phoenix out through the 18th of the month off of the GFS ensemble. And there's 31 members in this ensemble. You got some members that show nothing. You got a couple others that are way up over 2 inches. The mean, the mean is what you want to pay attention to, and that's a little over a half an inch. All right, now let's take a look at the European ensemble. 51 members here, and again, the spread is huge. You got anything from 0 up to 4 inches of rain. The ensemble mean is obviously very, very high on these members or on these ensembles because again, it's sort of biased by the very high totals on some of these individual members. The control member here, again, that's the initialized member, the unperturbed initialized member, the benchmark model, if you will, is up at 2.5 inches. The mean is anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and it's the same thing on the European AI ensemble. 51 members, you got 0 all the way up to 5 inches. So, needless to say, forecast uncertainty is very high, unusually high, out here at 10 days and beyond. But a consensus, if we are to draw a general consensus, moisture will increase and at least some chance of precipitation does appear to become more likely out by about 8 to 10 days and beyond. Temperatures off the national blend of models. We don't want to talk about that part, right? We don't want to talk about the triple digits that are displayed on here, but they are there. And that's why, unfortunately, we can't quite declare the end of the 100-degree days just yet. We hope that changes, but there's a clear trend down after that, once again, in favor of unsettled weather late next week and that following weekend. Checking the 6 to 10-day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is for the period of October 9th through the 13th. If this is right, temperatures over most of Arizona near seasonal averages, but precipitation is heavily skewed toward above average, like 70% probability of above average precipitation over most of the western United States, especially here in Arizona. That is one of the higher skewed percentages I've seen on this output in a while for us. Does that mean we're going to see precipitation? No, that's just a guess almost at this point from the guys over at CPC. Although based on current patterns, based on what we're seeing, that is the output here that they've put out. And they've also indicated that there's a moderate risk of heavy rainfall out here in the October 11th through 13th period across much of Arizona. Now, you don't see that too often, so they must have very high confidence. And look, this is a vetted product. They do a very good job over at the Climate Prediction Center. But of course, this is just probability. And just because there's a 60 to 70% chance of above average precipitation doesn't mean that above average precipitation happens. It is probability based on current circumstances. So that's all it is. All right. That's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you're really enjoying what we do here, you want to support the channel, well, that'd be awesome. And you can do that by clicking that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube, just like Bailey did yesterday. Thank you so much, Bailey. Once again, you are a legend, sir. Really do appreciate you supporting this channel and all of you that help us out. Also via PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com on PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description below. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, she's been writing them lately. Yeah, give those a look. Videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below. Also, our streaming station that's available 24/7, 365 called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that, so give that a listen as well. And check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. Why would you check him out? Well, because it's awesome content, and he is, I talk about Michelle being a blog writing machine. Dan is a content making machine. Everybody is putting me to shame with their work lately. There's just so much work being produced. But Dan puts out multiple videos every single day. And tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Dan's got game night. What's he playing over there tonight? You know what? I know, but I'm not going to tell you. I want you to tune in and check it out for yourself. That's Dan doing game night over on the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. Pacific. All right. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is amazing. It's so greatly appreciated. Please be safe. Stay cool. Stay hydrated out there. I know it's only going to be in the upper 80s today, but still, you're out in the sun, take it easy. All right? Still want you to drink plenty of water out there. And you guys have yourselves a terrific rest of your Saturday.